Hey Nash, what should we make?
I was watching an old video of Luke from the Outdoor Boys making his famous camp bread. Let's make that.
All right, let's make the Outdoor Boys camp bread. Welcome back to Chaos Kitchen, where sometimes we like to make famous dishes and see if they're worth making at home. This one's a little different because today we're gonna honor Luke and the Outdoor Boys. He unfortunately has retired, so we don't get any more of Luke, but his videos are all up and he has done some really awesome stuff as well as cooked some awesome stuff, mostly out in the woods, sometimes in the snow. Pretty cool. But his famous recipe seems to be his camp bread, which he's made into a loaf. He's cooked on a piece of metal in a campfire. He's cooked directly on coals in a campfire. Anyways, he's done it a bunch of different ways, but also Max has done it, Goog has done it, so we gotta try it. So today we're gonna make Luke from the Outdoor Boys camp bread, or just bread, I guess, and honey butter, because that's what makes it even better. So hey, without further ado, let's go. So this looks like the best bread and the easiest bread to make.
Bread flour, sugar, salt, yeast, and water.
So we start with a Ziploc bag. And when Luke does this, I'm pretty sure he doesn't even measure, but he did have some measurements on his website. So I'm gonna go with those. So in a Ziploc bag, we add 2 cups of bread flour. If you didn't have bread flour, you could probably get away with all-purpose. I don't know. They're a little bit different, but not incredibly. I think they are a 1-to-1. 2 1/4 teaspoons active dry yeast, a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of sugar. And I'm just gonna get this all mixed up. And then Luke makes this a lot of times when he goes camping. So what he'll do is he'll just mix up the dry in a bag, take that with him, and then heat up some water when he's ready to make the bread. So then to this bread with yeast, you need it to be the right temperature because it has to be warm enough to activate the yeast, but not so hot that it kills the yeast. So 110 degrees is what you're looking for, 3/4 of a cup of that. Then we seal this guy up and we just knead it inside the bag. And then once your dough is all combined and kneaded nicely, then we just put this somewhere warm for at least a couple hours, if not overnight.
The next day.
So when your bread is ready, rested, fermented, risen, whatever you want to call it, proofed, I don't know. When you're ready to cook it, then we need to make our honey butter. So we get out a stick of melted butter, and then Luke's instructions are very loose. Put some butter and some honey. How could it go wrong? It's gonna taste good.
I mean, it's honey and butter. Just, you know, I don't know, you just...
He's not wrong. So we got a stick of melted butter. I am just going to add a bunch of honey. And then he doesn't specify adding anything else, but I think that adding a little bit of salt to a honey butter significantly improves the taste. Not enough for it to be salty, but just enough to enhance that flavor. Because think about it, we put salt in all kinds of sweet dishes, brownies, cookies, etc. It makes it taste better. It gives you that, not enough salt to make it salty, but just enough salt to kind of make it a more complex sweetness. And then we just mix this up. It tastes delicious. We're just gonna go ahead and put a lid on this, shake it up a little bit.
Shake, 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 yeah.
From Luke's videos, we definitely still want it liquidy enough to pour, but I feel like this is too liquidy. So we wanna let this cool for a little bit. And then Luke usually cooks this on like a piece of metal on a campfire, or even directly on the coals in a campfire, and then just making it into like a flatbread. Occasionally he does cook it in like some sort of a little Dutch oven kind of deal and makes like a loaf, but we're just gonna go with the flatbread one because that seems to be the easiest and the most popular. I don't have a campfire, I'm not camping. We could throw out our griddle, but I already had the cast iron pan on here, and my griddle's cast iron, the pan's cast iron, so it's kind of all the same. So if you're gonna make this at home, put your cast iron pan on the heat. We want a hot pan on medium to medium high heat. We wanna add some butter or oil, let that melt. And then you're supposed to sort of pinch off some sort of pancake-ish, whatever size you want to make of these, if we're going flatbread, then throw that in there. And then we're basically just gonna cook this like a pancake. So throw it in there, you know, move it around a little bit, make sure it's not gonna stick, and then you just wanna cook it. So move it around a little bit to make sure nothing's sticking, but it seems to be doing all right. So we just let it go until it's time to flip. And then when your bottom is set, we just go ahead and flip it, and we just kind of cook it like a pancake. And it's not a steak, and even if it was, it's not 1995 anymore, so we all know you don't need to flip a steak once, you can flip it a bunch of times. So we can just keep flipping this until it cooks. So just move this guy around. Don't bare hand it like I do. That's a stupid idea. And then once you guys browned on both sides and cooked all the way through, then we just pull it off. And we have our flatbreads here. So we just go ahead and I guess just douse these guys with some of this honey butter. And there we have Luke from the Outdoor Boys' famous super easy bread and super easy honey butter. And it's time for a bite. Cheers. That's freaking delicious. I'm not surprised because everything Luke makes seems like it won't work at the beginning, but always turns out looking amazing. I thought baking was like a perfect science, but apparently you can just throw some stuff together in a bag, massage it up, and you get delicious bread. I'm impressed. This lives up to the hype. And then that honey butter, holy crap, that just puts everything over the top. So if you haven't watched the Outdoor Boys, go watch some of his videos. He's retired now. One of the like outdoor companies needs to come up with like their version of a Michelin chef award for people who just cook outdoors and cook delicious stuff. Like REI or I don't know, Patagonia or something. Out of 10. And that's what I think, but hey, let's see what Nash thinks. Hey bud, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I was just diving deep into a rabbit hole about birds not being real, but that they're actually little spy drones. It never occurred to me, but it could be true. And maybe they're in cahoots with the Ring cameras in a massive spy program.
Well, check it out. We made the Outdoor Boys camp bread. And of course, we made a special one just for you. Well, here you go. What do you think?
Well, that's just dang delicious. The bread is pillowy and perfect, and that honey butter is heavenly. So why are you always complaining about baking and how you don't like it because it's a perfect science?
Anything you want to say to your fans?
You will never be happy if you continue to search for what happiness consists of. You will never live if you are looking for the meaning of life.
Nash approves, I approve, and I'm not surprised. Luke kills it. Love Luke. Love the Outdoor Boys. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you all. Love you all. If you wouldn't mind taking a second, go like, share, hype, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, all that good stuff. If there's anything you want me to make, you want me and Nash to taste, go ahead and drop that down in the comments. If you like this video, go check out some other cool videos somewhere over here. And just remember, cook more, eat better, embrace the chaos. That's it for now, folks. Until next time, be good and peace.